All right, we're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order at 6:36. And we have two that aren't here, so they emailed in, so that's Patricia and Charity. So they are excused. Do I need a motion to excuse them or anything? Okay. Can I get a motion to excuse Patricia and Charity?
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
So it's been moved and second to excuse Charity and Patricia. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? So they are excused. Invocation. We're going to go ahead and do a moment of silence. Thank you all. All right. Now it's time for citizens to be heard. This is the only time during the Cibolo Economic Development Corporation meeting that a citizen can address the corporation. It is the opportunity for visitors and guests to address the CEDC on any issue to include agenda items. All visitors wishing to speak must fill out the sign-in roster prior to the start of the meeting. The CEDC may not deliberate any non-agenda issue, nor may any action be taken on any non-agenda issue at this time. However, the CEDC may present any factual response to items brought up by citizens. Attorney General Opinion JC 0169, limit 3 minutes each. All remarks shall be addressed to the corporation as a body. Remarks may also be addressed to any individual member of the CEDC so long as the remarks are about matters of local concern and not disruptive to the meeting or threatening to a member or any attendee, including city staff. Any person violating this policy may be requested to leave the meeting, but no person may be requested to leave or forced to leave the meeting because of their viewpoint expressed. This meeting is live streamed. So we got a few people today. So it is Amanda, Kate, Chris, and Enrique. Come on up. How are y'all doing today?
Doing good. My name is Amanda Villegas. I'm accompanied by my fellow classmates. We are here on behalf of Leadership Corps through the Chamber Shirt Cibolo Selma, and we're really here just to learn more about how EDC supports our community.
Fantastic. I'm glad y'all are here. Y'all just gonna watch and observe and
Yes.
see? Fantastic. So this will be good.
Well, thank you for allowing us to be here today. We're really excited. We are about to be graduated from the class. It's been a half-year class, and it's been all exciting to learn about the city, the government, and the business around it. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
Fantastic. I appreciate y'all being here. I hope y'all get something out of this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Kevin, how are you doing today?
I'm good, sir. Good evening, Cibolo family, community. Once again, I'm just saying good evening, God bless. I'll be talking and saving my remarks for our next session as far as within the agenda, but it's good to see everybody again.
I appreciate you coming. Looking forward to hearing what you have to say. So that is it for citizens to be heard. Now we're going to move on to the consent agenda. All right. All items listed below are considered to be routine and non-controversial by the corporation and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a corporation member requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda. Item 6A, approval of the minutes of the regular Economic Development Corporation meeting held on May 21st, 2026. Item 6B is approval of financial and sales tax reports for April 2026. Item 6C is approval of the reimbursement to the City of Cibolo General Fund for staff time working on Cibolo Economic Development Corporation projects for May of 2026. Does anybody have anything on it? Everybody good? I just need a motion to approve all items as read.
Move to approve the consent agenda items 6A through C.
As read.
Second.
It has been moved and second to approve all items. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's been moved and seconded to approve all the consent agenda items. So now we can move on to, there's no committee reports, so we're going to move on to 8A. Discussion, presentation from the Tri-County Chamber of Commerce related to fiscal year 2027 membership value, organizational contributions, and benefits to the City of Cibolo and Cibolo Economic Development Corporation. Mr. Clancy.
Good evening, directors. Good evening, Mayor. This evening, we have Kevin Lundquist speaking on behalf of the Tri-County Chamber. To provide you some background, historically, chamber memberships have been funded through the City Secretary's office. Since the benefit lies more with economic development, the decision was made for this to come before the Economic Development Board for consideration and inclusion in the budget for fiscal year 27. With that, we've asked both the Tri-County Chamber and the Chamber Selma Schertz Cibolo area to present to this body the value they bring to the community, basically organizational contributions to the community and overall benefits for the board to make an informed decision at our budget meeting in July and August whether to fund a membership or not. This evening's the first presentation from the Tri-County Chamber. A funding decision will not be made this evening, but feel free to ask any questions related to Tri-County Chamber membership. I'll turn it over to Kevin. The document in your packet was provided by Ms. Becky Babcock, the Executive Director. She could not be here this evening, but this document is in your packet for reference as well. So I'll turn it over to Kevin to review and look through and give his presentation. So Kevin, the floor is yours. Yeah, no worries.
Thank you. Thank you for coming, Kevin, and presenting this.
Well, once again, good evening, Madam Mayor, council, family. My name is Kevin Lundquist. I'm serving as the Acting Military Affairs for the Texas Tri-County Chamber of Commerce in the stead of our director, Ms. Becky Babcock. And most of all, I'm also a citizen of Cibolo for the past 13 years. With that being said, we talk about the benefits of Tri-County within Cibolo. I can tell you I've been with Tri-County for about a year, and I've been almost fully engaged as far as all the events that we've supported. But once again, I work for the Department of Defense, so with that, we go by data. So some data that I pulled out that I put together as far as views and also partnerships. So far, through all our social media outlets, which we have over 8,700 members within our Facebook, and between Facebook, LinkedIn, and also with our Instagram. Cibolo events alone, we've had over 13,000 views between those three outlets. With that being said, on our LinkedIn, 580, and shares within Facebook, we've had between 6 and also 10 specific events. Once again, this is mainly for the big events like Cibolo Fest, the event that we partnered with the brain fart symposium, the symposium, which was fantastic. With that being said, the chamber, it has a lot of benefits. It helps a lot of these small businesses amplify their marketing, also bring them together through our morning mingles and some of our other partnership events. But at the same time, it provides an outlet for some of these small businesses to have people learn more about them, their families, and also partner. With that, the heart of the chamber is our people. Right now, we have over 500 and growing 80 members within the Chamber of Commerce. And if you times that by how much we can put information out about the small businesses and also provide an education, it speaks a lot within volumes. Now, once again, I'm not here to preach about you funding the Chamber of Commerce. I'm here to talk about what we've done so far. That's our report card. And want to make sure we can answer any questions as far as how we've done within the past 12 months. Because once again, a chamber is no good to the city if we're not partnering with you, if we're not helping out those small businesses, providing education. Because just like you, I'm a member of Cibolo, and I want to make sure that any chamber that we partner with is going to be beneficial not only to my kids, but also to the schools and education, and also helping with small business as well, pending your questions.
So, in the past, we've been with y'all, and we've gotten some support out of it, and I'd like to see that y'all are growing, and I want to see y'all keep growing and providing more and more resources as much as possible. Really, do you think as you grow, you're going to get more and more support? You're going to keep getting bigger and bigger? Are you going to keep getting more and more views and pushing it out harder? And are you able to really give a real good marketing help to the city of Cibolo?
Yes, sir. So with that being said, when we bring those small businesses in the fold, we try to help them with their marketing, because you have some mom and pop businesses that don't know how to use Facebook, don't know how to use Instagram. And that training is actually provided through the chamber, through our monthly sessions. With that being said, one thing that I've spoken since I've been here is ensuring that for our report card, we calculate all this stuff the best way possible, because I can't ask you to join the chamber if I can't give you no data as far as how's it going to benefit you. So as we do grow and we provide that information to those businesses, once again, marketing is definitely going to grow. And then once again, it'll become earned media as well as we partner with separate events, because we're not only just marketing just to within Cibolo, we have all the cities that we partner with within the Tri-County Chamber, so Cibolo goes out to everybody.
And there's different packages to be a member through, correct?
Yes, sir.
And the different levels that we are members with, does it benefit going higher or lower or in the middle? Is there a real benefit for each one depending on what we need, or?
Yes, sir. So that package is going to be benefit to what the city's asking for. So if you need help with more of a marketing package where more of the larger events that we do as far as the fundraisers and everything, then that will be part of that package. If you're a mom and pop business who only can afford $500 as far as for your yearly membership, you're going to get the basics of what you need as far as to be successful. Now, once again, there are times where we'll provide more than what's in your package to help benefit that business. That's more of a conversation with the director, Ms. Becky Babcock, and also our board. But so far from what I've seen, we've never provided entry-level support to any business, no matter what they pay for. They're always going to get world-class care as far as what we can provide for them.
Anybody have any questions?
Ask them how many full-time employees they have.
How many full-time employees do y'all have?
As of right now, I'm tracking our director. One thing we have been talking about is having more folks work in-house. With that being said, to man the chamber, we're actually trying to work with a partner program through Northeast Lakeview College, where we're trying to see if we can get interns as far as from the students who are learning about business, to have them come help us out with chamber matters. So it's kind of a two-way street. They learn about business, they learn about the cities, and also it helps them with their curricular activities as far as with their grading. But once again, that's for the near future as we're working on that partnership.
So you only have, 5 full-time employees?
Well, as of right now, I'm tracking Ms. Becky Babcock, our director. I have to get more information from her as far as who those other personnel are.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions?
How many new business ribbon cuttings did you all host this year?
Say again, Madam Mayor?
How many ribbon cuttings did you host in this past quarter or year, or whatever statistic you have?
Okay, so what I have here as far as within the Cibolo area, I am tracking 4 within the Cibolo within the past 6 months. As far as the rest of the data, as far as in totality, are you asking for as far as within the Tri-County or
Oh,
just
that's
within
fine.
Cibolo?
That's a good answer. Yeah.
Okay, yes,
Just
ma'am.
kind of get a gist of what you're you're having open business ribbon cuttings?
Yes, ma'am.
So how does, if, whether it's the city, or the EDC, how does that benefit business owners? By the level of our participation, does that offer more benefit to the business owners? Does each business owner buy into, or, pay dues into the chamber? And then their benefits are qualified by, or quantified by whatever their membership is?
So good question, sir. So technically, it'd be both. The city would have their package, and then we would, from what's it called, an executive level, everything that the city puts out, we amplify that through the city. Now, once again, a mom and pop business may have a smaller package of $100 or $500. That now works for what they're looking for. So technically, it would be two separate packages on what you're looking for.
Okay, so primarily you're talking about digital advertisement, such as that, correct?
So digital advertisement, also within those packages, it has the ribbon cuttings, because those also can be considered separate events depending on that package, sir. But once again, if the city pays for or invites us to a ribbon cutting that's coming straight from the city, not from the business, we're still going to support that no matter what, because that'll be part of your package. Now, if the business decides to do something separate from the city and they want that to do the chamber, then that'll be part of their package as well.
Okay. And so once you're a member, there's follow-up.
Yes, sir.
We celebrate the beginning.
Yes.
So how do we celebrate the middle?
So once again, we have the business mindsets, the different events, and they're always planned strategically at different locations. One thing we have talked about in the past, where if we have one of our businesses that are struggling, let's say if they're struggling and they're part of the chamber, we would try to offset to have a meeting or something at that location to kind of bring some of those more business owners at that location. But once again, we'll do at least 1 or 2 engagements throughout that term as far as for those businesses. And at the last engagement, that's when we do our report card to see how they're doing, ask questions about their marketing, to include the monthly emails that go out to invite them to the training as far as the advertisement and anything else that they need.
So it's you as staff, but you also invite other business owners to come confab, to huddle with other business owners.
Yes, sir, huddle.
Yeah.
Prime example today, we had our first military affairs potluck. I'm big on luncheons, but I'm very big on potluck because I want to taste what you got in your kitchen. So with that being said, that's how we now talk about, okay, how have we been doing within the past 6 months, and share those ideas. Because once again, we don't have to wait 6 months to another big event to talk to those folks. We have team members like myself, a delegate, we'll go to these businesses and we'll have dinner, or we'll sit in and talk, and we'll find out, and we provide that report back to Ms. Becky Babcock, the director, and then that's when we start talking about that interaction during those board meetings to see where we can help out.
So within the organization, I'm seeing it like kind of like a fraternity or a sorority, that sort of thing. And so are you advertising within the group, all your membership, to if you have these needs, whatever it is, it's digital marketing, you're a mechanic, you need tires, whatever it is, then you're going to be, however regularly that you can, advertising these businesses to these other businesses to work amongst each other?
Correct. So once again, our Facebook and our media outlets are all open to public. But with that being said, monthly we send those emails out to the 583 businesses, so they network. So every month, those businesses within that chain, they'll get that information. However, if you're a person looking to join the chamber, that same information is on that webpage. You can pull it up. It shows the events and it shows everything that we do, to include upcoming ribbon cuttings as well.
You'll have the staff and the ability to check on that.
Yes, sir. So we have volunteers, just like myself. I do not get paid by the chamber. So I help as far as with executive planning, as far as for some of those events, to include we have others who are part of marketing, who is part of sending emails out, and also our folks who are part of the cities that show up just like I do as far as working with the cities and being that connective tissue as far as passing information.
Right.
So what I know is all volunteer based as of right now for all the folks.
Yeah, no, thank you for that. And that do. So it's just a heart of leadership and a heart of giving. And so I guess part of that question is how do you get assurances that your membership is working together. This business is looking for services from this business. How do you check on that?
So that also comes with our monthly get-togethers, our Monday mingles, our luncheons. That happens during those sessions where we talk, and that's actually pulled back internally, and then we talk and capture that either in an article or it's captured through our boards. Because once again, we try to ensure that during those networking pieces that those folks are networking. It's not just for folks to get together and have a meal and just, talk about each other. No, we got to figure out who has a shortfall. If we have a business that say, hey, they have a plumbing issue, hey, we have AAA plumbing. They'll talk together and they'll have that business relationship, and then we'll bring that back and capture that as a win as far as that connective tissue between those two businesses.
Okay. Yeah, because Clancy and Rick and Luke all the time are talking about making contact, touching back with your businesses.
Yes.
Just getting the temperature of our businesses and what they consider the climate of doing business in Cibolo. So you're doing the same thing throughout each county. Yeah. Good.
The main thing I look at and what I say is talk to that business. Ask them. Me personally, I can sit here and tell you, and hey, it's sunny outside when it's dark, but at the end of the day, it's going to be on that business to tell you how that relationship is with that chamber. Every business that I've attended to, it's always been a good relationship because we keep in communication with them. Where we falter is if we don't have communication with those businesses. Now they're paying for a yearly membership where it's for naught. So with that, the proof of the pudding is going to be from that business on how they talk about their chamber and what we're doing for them.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Can you please let us know where is your main office and how many board of directors you have that sit on your board? And you might have said 500 plus?
580 businesses and growing, ma'am.
Okay, that's what I thought you had said that. So if you could tell us about your board of directors and where your main office is located.
Yes, ma'am. And if I talk fast, let me know. I'm from New York City, so we tend to talk fast. We're fast talkers. Yeah. And go Knicks. So I had to say it. I support the Spurs, but I had to say it. So we're located on 220 Pat Booker. We're directly a block away from the entrance of Randolph Air Force Base. We have been in that location for roughly about 2 years, and we'll be there for the foreseen future. You're more than welcome to come down. We have a lot of assets. We do our training there. We have Wi-Fi. So it's a great building. Now, for our board of directors, I believe as of right now, we have 5 for our board of directors. That's not including our director, Becky Babcock. Yes, ma'am.
One last question on the board. If representation, how is each county represented on your board?
For
Or
what
county or city? Yeah.
So,
We're looking for Cibolo.
yes, sir. So I'll double check as far as who's where, because I'm still new to as far as for the board members, but that's something I can follow up with after this meeting, sir. Pending any questions.
Any more? I know we'll have another presentation next month, and yeah, I think we're good. Do we need to do anything? Just presentation?
Yeah, this was just a discussion presentation.
Perfect. Yeah, I think we're good with that. No, we look forward to hearing about it again next month and making a good decision.
Yes, sir. And I'll make sure I have those RFIs within the next 24 hours, and I'll send that to you as far as for those numbers. I want to make sure you have that information within the next 24 hours, whatever we didn't cover today.
Thank you.
I appreciate you coming out, and go Spurs.
Go Spurs. Go Spurs. God bless.
I think what he's saying, for another 28 years, the Cowboys will have a chance.
And just one correction, it's the Church Cibolo Selma Chamber presenting next month.
Oh, okay.
And then August, the board will be asked for funding.
Okay.
We'll have to make a decision regarding funding.
Not a problem. All right, so we will move on to 8B. Discussion direction on fiscal year 27 budget priorities and memorandum of understanding the MOU agreement with the city of Cibolo.
Okay, so this is our long-standing agendized item. When we left off last month, we were returning this meeting with a draft red line copy of the memorandum MOU with the city of Cibolo. We've worked with the city manager's office and with Mr. Garza's firm to shore up the framework of that agreement, because it's not substantially changing other than the funding mechanism for ED staff. ED staff will now be rolled into the Type B fund budget, which is what we talked about in our workshops and everything. So I would ask the board to review the MOU from this meeting till the next one. And then with that draft, it's redlined and everything. Any questions, corrections, or anything, email Rick, Luke, and myself, and we'll be glad to answer them or research them. So that's the full red line in there for your review. A few updates since our last meeting. As part of our comprehensive settlement with GV Sud in 2024, the city and GV Sud agreed as part of a sewer line extension on Bolton Road that a $600,000 fee, or however you want to say it, $600,000 payment would be made to GV Sud to improve the sewer facilities in that region. That is our primary growth region for primary employers, our mission and why we're here. It's our future growth area. Phil Gage, who's the general manager of GV Sud, sent a letter to Mr. Reed. It's in your packet as well, basically just outlining that he's going to ask for those funds in fiscal year 27. This is a proper use of our funds. Type B corporations can use them for infrastructure. The infrastructure does directly benefit our economic development efforts, so staff sees it as a viable, good use of it. Our organization has been prudent with our spending and our budgeting, that we have fund balance to cover this need. And basically the flip side of that coin too is we wouldn't be offering as much incentives for infrastructure improvements on that area of Bolton Road, because we've already made the improvements with GV Sud. And what we're going to work on the back end is if there's any more planned projects in GV Sud's pipeline, if they're improving the water line, maybe we speed that up and we come back to this body to talk about a partnership to only tear up Bolton Road one time and make those improvements as needed in real time with tearing the road up one time. I don't know how that looks right now, but we will have a meeting with GV Sud to see if that's a possibility for them. That's one update, and that will be included in the budget. But since it's a one-time cost, it will look a little wonky, but the one-time cost can be pulled out of our fund balance. And that will still go through the normal budgeting process, much like our website. Proposal for $40,000 is a one-time cost too. Outside of that, I wanted to ask the board how you all felt about this $600,000 and get direction from you. Staff is ready to continue at your direction, but we are legally bound to this dollar figure.
I believe it's going to help us either way, because we're going to either ask for incentives or we're going to put it in there anyway, since we have to pay it. Why not pay it, get the infrastructure in there, like you said, get with them, have a partnership, and tear it up one time. That way there's not mess again and again, and then fix the road, do everything that we need to all at the same time. Just get it over with. And if we have it in the fund balance, why not make it more attractive to more businesses coming in and not worry about asking them or giving them more of an incentive if it's already there.
And also included in your packets kind of a rough GIS map. We're talking about 3,900 linear feet of improvement. And current price is about $155 a linear feet. According to GV Sud's estimates, this will barely cover that cost. So once they encumber those funds from us, even if there's a price increase, that's the agreed upon amount. There's no coming back to the well.
Yeah.
I concur.
Just for clarity, this will carry raw sewage from Bolton Road to the GVSUD wastewater treatment plant.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, that is correct.
And also for clarity, there is no capacitance for the city of Cibolo in the GVSUD wastewater treatment plant. No capacity? No capacity. Okay.
Mr. Clancy, is there an alternative?
You know, I don't have a crystal ball, but the alternative would be more litigation. And I think this is a great boon for our corporation to have this feather in our hat that the infrastructure is taken care of when it comes to sewage.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
Is there an alternative to funding it now or funding it at a different time?
no, the way the agreement was written is that GV-SUD can ask for the funding, and they were gracious enough to give the city of Cibolo about 3 years before they came to ask for it. And since costs are increasing, I would encourage the board to take advantage of this right now, because I can almost guarantee when they go to make the improvements, it will probably be more than $155 a linear foot. And that would be a cost on GV-SUD and not our organization. Plus, in the spirit of partnership, you know, we settled that litigation and everything.
It's a stop loss at 600,000. That's a finite amount for us.
Yes.
Correct.
Make it so.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, because it's no better time to build than now, because it's not going to get
And now
cheaper.
dollars are cheaper than tomorrow's dollars.
Absolutely.
And just one following update on that. Next week, we have Rick and myself have our meeting with the finance department on the budget we proposed to you all last meeting that was emailed out. Very aggressive, proactive budgets, and we will come back in July with any recommendations and everything. And in fact, we're going to invite Ms. Miranda, the finance director, to come in and present the headwinds, tailwinds, similar to what the city council receives.
And this is going to be on that budget? This is going to be put on that budget?
Yes, it will. It will be a one-time cost.
Yeah.
So it will look like a bigger budget than we've ever done, but it's a huge one-time cost.
Yes.
Similar to what we've done with the master plans. Well, those were funded in real time instead of fund balance. But
Yeah. In agreement? Good. All right. So do we need a motion or anything?
no, I was just seeking direction. So Rick and I will go back to city manager and director of finance and report that the board is in agreement to move forward with including that $600,000 in the budget for fiscal year 27.
Yeah. And then as long as you talk with them about possibly putting everything in all at the same time, that way it's just over and done with.
And I agree, and we'll make those inroads and see where Mr. Gage and Mr. Basham, who's the engineer, where their CIP lies for water. They may not need to improve water for 10, 15 years, and we'll see what their CIP looks like and have a real-time discussion, because we want to develop as fast as possible, but we don't want to go back and develop something and then tear it up. So.
Right. Did you have something, Cody? All right. Yeah.
Perfect.
We're on board.
Thank you.
All right, now moving on to 8C, discussion, direction, action on contract with Decor IQ for the holiday lighting project in Old Town in the amount not to exceed $65,000. Mr. Clancy.
It's me again. As part of our board retreat, we talked about ways to engage and activate our community and in our Old Town as well. Communities that Rick and I've served in prior, they really go all out for their businesses in their Old Town. They decorate to create that movement, that excitement, and bring those people in just to see the lights or just to take pictures and that sort. So in the spirit of that, during that workshop, we kind of asked you all offhandedly how you would feel about it. And the reception was to move forward and get some quotes. So Decor IQ is a buy board approved vendor. They are if you look up and down 35, they are the largest share of holiday decoration company. They're based out of San Antonio. Their office is based out of San Antonio. What we're proposing is a trial this year, a 1-year contract with Decor IQ to do the decorations in Old Town. And what that would involve is lighting the rooftops of the commercial businesses from Slaughter all the way to Loop 539. It was cost prohibitive to do the other side to 78 currently this year. We want to see how everything looks prior to committing that other side of the streets. Included in that are decorative elements that will hang from the light poles that will plug into those lights. There'll be little toy soldiers to honor our military community here. We think they look really cool. And then also, it would be a holiday or a Christmas tree. Almost a 30-foot tall Christmas tree, LED decorated and everything. to really draw that area to where the mural wall is. And in this idea, we put a bench out there for pictures, and then we put a sign there that this holiday lighting display in Old Town downtown is provided and funded by the Cibolo Economic Development Corporation. And that gives us a little bit of marketing to say that we're out there, we're providing that, and the idea is people would come down, see the lights, they would eat at the restaurants, they would shop at the stores, they would go to Old Main Ice House, they would go to Harmon's, and just spend those tax dollars in Old Town. Conversely, there was conversation about our other retail centers. We would reach out to them and let them know the plan, pending board approval. Know the plan, like, hey, we're going big in Old Town. What are you doing at your center? Are you going to create selfie spots too that we can help advertise and create this holiday magic in Cibolo, so to speak? So what we're proposing is just a one-year contract with Decor IQ. The deposit would be due out of fiscal year 26, this current fiscal year, and then we would budget the remainder of it in October once they install it. So we're not kind of up against it, but we're pretty close with having a go or no go. We've been refining the price with them to get the best value. So I leave it before the board for discussion. Happy to answer any questions, but just know that this is an economic development initiative. So it's in the betterment and benefit of our business community.
And this would be a collaboration between the EDC and the local school districts, small businesses. We would hope to bring the children out, the youth choirs, the youth musicians, have a tree lighting, have a corridor lighting. Mayor's going to push the big switch and turn on everything at one time. Everybody claps and pictures are taken, and hopefully they go eat and drink and spend money in Old Town that evening, and then come back in subsequent nights and take pictures, bring family when family's in town, rather than going off to the other cities that are offering that type of opportunity. We would have it right here in Cibolo so they can stay here.
When you talk about putting it up on the roofs of the businesses on Main Street here, you're going to have to get approval from the businesses to be able to do that, and the ones that want to participate will.
Great question. In our exploratory phase for this, after we talked to the board in April, Luke, during his business retention and expansion efforts in Old Town, asked businesses how they felt about this. And I don't ever say 100% guarantee, but each and every one he talked to was very excited about the possibility of this, and they saw no issue with participation. And the true thing is we're hiring this company to do it that does it everywhere else. So they have a method to do it. It's going to look great. They have ways to put them on the homes and on the roof lines to not damage the buildings too.
Now, I've had a lot of the businesses ask me about if we would ever do something like that where we had like a big theme with the lighting and stuff, so I figured that'd pretty much be on board.
Yeah, and this will fundamentally help the holiday parade that goes through Old Town too. So it's to create that secondary event outside of Cibolo Fest for the holiday to kick it off.
Anybody got any more questions?
No, thank you for answering the emails. So just checking to make sure that we're hitting all of the even the little bitty buildings that are commercial. And and I appreciate you checking back with Decor IQ to make sure the little barbershop isn't left out in the dark. And so I'll just ask get everybody's opinions on this. I understand completely. This is economic development, and it's from businesses and all that sort of stuff. But Cibolo came into existence in 1876, and St. Paul Evangelical was a month after that. If there's a Cibolo, there's a St. Paul Evangelical Church, and it's right smack dab in the middle of downtown. Yes or no, should they be invited or included, asked to participate in the lighting ceremony and having lights put along this facade of the church? It's a church. Now, the parking lot does contribute to economic development. There's a lot of people park over there and go buy a lot of food and walk over to such as that, but it is a church.
I mean,
Do we start with Frank?
I would start with Mr. Garza for a legal opinion.
I mean, it's an issue we'd have to look at. I mean, definitely, I have seen where church parking lots have been used to decorate to track because it's in the central part where close to shops and so forth, and they're offering their parking lot, and so it's part of the decoration and so forth. I'm sure that other leaders would be invited on the switching of the church, I mean, the switching of the lights, and not just anybody in particular. So it's something I'd look at, but I think there's a way it can be done.
I mean, if they're left out, that's just a big, dark spot that's right there along this nice corridor of lighting.
Yeah, it'd be just a big old dark spot, right up to City Hall, and it's been there for well, I always say right after God invented dirt, but it's been there for a long, long time. It's core to our city, so I don't know what y'all feel about it.
And I guess what you could argue is it's location, location, location. It's not the denomination or whatever. It's the fact that where they're located is why the city would be interested in doing it.
Correct.
Well, the membership is citizens of their community, so if they worship there, why not?
Go ahead.
I have a question about the toy soldiers. Are they going to go all the way up past 1103 towards the Buffalo Heights lights? So there'll be no additional decorations on the lights?
There will be no additional pole pendant decorations past the slaughter, and we're doing every other pole.
Are you capable of taking the toy soldiers all the way up that?
We can look at expanding it if that's what the board wants to look at. Basically, when we were brainstorming this, we stopped in that commercial, the intent commercial core, but there's a possibility they are.
I'm not talking about all of the lighting on the buildings. I'm talking about just to have a congruent, yes, the
Yeah,
pole.
I understand what you're saying, is to have them begin before, pardon me, before the lights begin.
And go
so to
up
speak.
to the Walmart, that area.
We can look at that and see if the poles are capable of with the power supply.
That's actually what I was trying to
we can
drive
explore
at.
that.
Is it possible?
Yeah,
And
if
if
they
that's
have power, if they have the plug, anything's
If
possible.
that's a possibility, you think city council would help with that extra funding for it?
I don't see, I mean, I can't speak for council. I mean, I would certainly bring it up to them, but that's a council decision, as it would be your board decision. But that's just in curiosity, you know, that was something that I was thinking would be more congruent along this stretch of all of our main street is.
Basically, the parade route is what you're talking about.
Yeah, we can definitely explore that.
That's on y'all.
Valerie, is there going to be a Christmas parade?
As far as I know, Parks and Rec is asked to take it over this year, so Margarita should be planning that.
Okay.
Yeah, and if that's something we could talk about with city council about maybe helping out with that portion of what it would cost to put those up, and
Clancy, I have a
I don't see
question.
anything wrong with it.
A little while back, you mentioned that we were going to get new light posts. When is that going to happen?
So those toppers are ordered right now. The lead time they gave us is about 4 months. So those will be pending public works schedule. They'll be in our hands in October, and then they will be installed shortly after that.
Should work out timing.
Or the toppers.
Yeah.
Yes, so they'll be in a perfect world and no delays, they would be installed before the holiday season.
And the only other question I have is they're putting warm lights on all the buildings, but then the soldiers are cool lights.
I'll have to find an image and send it to you, the image we have of it. I don't think they would clash the way we're envisioning them. When we looked at them as staff, I'll send an email Monday with an image of the toy soldier, or if they're available in that warm white, I will inquire with the
And
vendor.
maybe because it's kind of hanging over the street, so it's not that bright while you're driving down, a little cooler, or it's not so bright, I don't know.
I just thought it was something worth mentioning.
You never know.
One last question.
Yes, sir?
So Clancy, I'm picturing these to be like the the light bulbs, not the new digital LED things, they're actual bulbs like we always associate with, like we have over here at the 1908 and that sort of thing.
The traditional C4 bulb is what I asked them to quote. They'll be LED, but they'll be that
Yeah.
traditional shape.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions?
So just real quick, I've gotten all the direction here. So maybe the action is to approve us to proceed with the project for the not to exceed 65,000, and then come back in the July meeting with the add-ons for the church, and then the continuation of the lighting elements, the toy soldiers on the poles, for consideration to fund more. 'Cause
Okay.
They'll turn the quote around really quickly, but the way I wrote the agenda item, we're kind of bound to that 65,000 right now. So we can come back in July and add to that at the board's leisure, and then take it to city council the next available meeting. Because this is above our
Yeah, threshold.
threshold,
Yeah.
yes.
I got
Is
you.
that right, Frank? That's, okay, thank you.
So you need a motion to move forward? Need a motion to,
So make a motion to approve the contract and the contract proposal with Decor ID for our Old Town Holiday Lighting Project not to exceed an amount of $65,000, but also ask our EDC staff to bring back possible amendments for our July meeting.
I'll second that.
so it's been moved and seconded to move forward. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it, it's been approved. We can move forward with it.
Thanks, guys, I appreciate you. For the last item, I believe that's gonna be Rick.
So 8D, discussion on the Main Street renovation process.
And Rick, I have your PowerPoint queued up.
So Luke got an early start for the 4.5-hour drive to see his parents down in the Rio Grande Valley, so I'm filling in for him on this presentation. At the past meeting, when Aaron presented the Old Town Master Plan and the consultant was here, there was quite a bit of conversation surrounding the plan, some questions that were asked and maybe were not clearly answered. So hopefully we can go through some of that tonight as we discuss the rehab project that is being examined or considered. And so this is not an action item tonight. It's a dialogue, a discussion with the board and the staff. And so we open to answer any questions and kind of work through this. So this is a slide that was asked to be developed to start the conversation about Old Town around infrastructure. When the Old Town Committee was meeting, they started talking about a lot of the attractive architectural features and amenities, the things you see above ground, but they really didn't want to talk about the things you have to talk about that are below ground. And this graphic illustrates some of the challenges that Old Town would face if some of the ideas like having boutique hotels on the backside of Main Street were to ever be realized. We wouldn't have the sanitary sewer line to be able to serve those hotels. We wouldn't be able to flush toilets effectively. And so you've got to think about what's underground before you really start planning for what you want to do above ground. So we have, in Old Town, we have very small water lines, 2-inch water lines. We need at least 8-inch water lines to make sure we have the capacity to see Old Town redevelop and grow and prosper. We have undersized sewer lines, and we don't really have drainage in Old Town. It floods because there is no drainage system. Very limited pipes are available to collect the storm water and move it out. So underground, you don't see the storm drain line or the inlets to get the water off the street and off the residences into a piping system and move that off. So any conversation or any plan we have within Cibolo, it must start with a conversation surrounding infrastructure and the need to have a long-term infrastructure plan for all the systems, even the roads above, once you get through the subsurface stuff. So I wanted to give some context to the project when I heard some of the comments made by the consultant about accomplishing this project in 10 years. I don't know why she said that. I would, if I was here, I would have challenged her on that issue. But I'm going to draw upon the San Antonio's experience 105 years ago when they flooded downtown and they decided they needed to do something to manage their flood waters. They didn't have pipes available. They weren't piping the water away from the downtown area. And so they knew they had to start their project into resolving that issue. And then on the right side, you see today how the flood systems are in place. The pipes are underground, tunnels to move the flood waters out. So just a little bit of history to give a sense how long this takes. In 1926, they built the Alamos Dam to retain some of those flood waters. The WPA in 39 came in with some money. The Army Corps in the 50s channelized some of their improvements. So just looking at how long it took to evolve to what you see as a Riverwalk today, started over 100 years ago, and it didn't happen every year. It was as project availability happened, they were able to capitalize on those opportunities. Down there where it says mission reach, 384 million, that was designed to link the downtown area to the southern part of San Antonio and the 4 historic missions they have. But I was there in 2009. I think Frank was there as well in 2009. But some of these opportunities, when you're tackling projects like Old Town, opportunities surface from either a federal or a state agency where your project just fits perfectly. And so in 2009, TxDOT created a program called the Transportation Enhancement Program. And all those highway engineers were very unhappy because the federal government said, you now have to do trails and connect sidewalks, and you need to make sure that people have a way to move around other than their cars. And so there was a mandate across the state that they spend about $85 million. And so San Antonio, they conceptualized this Mission Reach Trail project, and they submitted it for $14 million. And since TxDOT really didn't know how to deal with the projects, they wanted one big project, so they only had to manage a handful of projects. San Antonio won. They got like 15 or 18 million out of the entire statewide pot to start their trail project. So Cibolo needs to be prepared. So when those opportunities surface, we have the right project, it fits the program, and we apply, we'll have some luck. So just remember, this is a long-term project, what we call Old Town. The economic impact of the river project after 100 years of improvements, $3 billion annually, 31,000 jobs, and $1 million, that should be $1 million, in annual income and benefits. So Old Town, going through Old Town, there are projects that have been completed. You have some sidewalk, you have some ADA ramps, you have street lights, street furniture, banners, and some limited drainage projects. Incremental projects that have happened over time, and that's the way Old Town will be redeveloped. It's not going to be 10 years. It's going to be as opportunities present themselves. Current projects, we are working on a banner project, $7,000 was spent. The light fixtures you asked about, $34,000. The PED signals, another $14,000. The Christmas programming is evolving, and the EDC did fund the $160,000 Old Town plan. So again, incremental projects over time will happen in Old Town. So a vision, you need to vision Main Street as a linear intersection of public and private open spaces. I heard comments about we need a park or we need to build a new park. Really, you need to think of the entire corridor as a park. It's a public-private park where the spaces along the frontage of each building can be joined together and used by visitors and the businesses as open space. So you don't really need to think about building in new parks. The park's already there. You just got to connect it and enhance what's already in place. So think about gathering spaces for coffee shops, bookstores, specialty butcher, German beer garden, public spaces, the Grange Hall Event Center. The idea is that this redevelopment over time would support local businesses. It'd be walkable, preserve your community history. You mentioned the church, invest in your community and drive economic growth. So here's some of the potential opportunities. Some people may not see these structures today in their current form as opportunities, but they can become that. These are the same two structures that Luke took through an AI exercise, converted one to a coffee shop, one to a bookstore, some extra skin, new windows, provided landscape planning, and now you have something very attractive for something that's not too attractive today, but is on the ground. Little vision. This is the facade project that we're exploring with the property owner to see if this could become, I think we talked about a bike shop, maybe a restaurant. The other option was demolition and a new building. Well, the AI generated image is on the right is after conversations with a regional architect who said part of the building should be served, the original part, maybe you save more, but you could add on to the back for additional square footage, but it would be an actual restoration project that would contribute to the Old Town. So with that, this is the Grange Hall enhanced through facade grants, through paint grants. These are the different type of grants that the EDC could support in the city. Architectural grants to do the design work, encourage redesign, engineering. Sometimes you're going to need to know that the foundation's structurally sound, the structure itself is sound, and roofs are sound. So some engineering grants, facade, roof, foundation, and paint grants all could work together to bring about this change over time. See the existing structure, it's the same structure, but enhanced with porches and porticoches and windows and roof. Here's another great building in its present form and then its potential form. Has a lot of history. We could work on improving the curb appeal as well as the capacity of the facility to have outdoor gathering spaces that provide community events, provide for private events. Really interesting that we're one of 18 remaining 9-pin clubs in South Texas. That's pretty interesting to have as a community. There's not many places around that can say they have that. It's one of the things that caught my eye when I first came to Cibolo. But it's a diamond in the rough, in my opinion. It probably had the historic windows removed in the 70s when everybody was taking out those wonderful wood sash windows and putting aluminum windows in. I'd say go back to what it was, add some porches as well as outdoor space. Could be really exciting. That's just another similar image. Again, preserving the history of Cibolo, culture of Cibolo, the German heritage and Czech heritage in the community. Here's some space where we didn't do a lot of design thought. Clancy was talking about the tree and doing a nicer tree, but also thinking about the space and whether you just put out a lot of asphalt or concrete as opposed to nice native plant materials and landscaping, native materials, taking advantage of your history as a train, a community where the train stopped. And this slide Clancy had worked on to show how in a short period of time in 2008, not that long ago, you came from a gravel road to what we have today. And then just, again, the Old Town Plan is nothing more than a plan. It's going to sit on a shelf unless you activate it and you use it as a tool. It's great ideas, but going back, we got to think about that infrastructure and how we're going to get the infrastructure underground from where it is today and where will it be in 50 or 100 years, long term. And the Old Town is an elephant. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. You know, we're going to just take small bits and pieces of the project over time. It's going to have to compete with police, with fire, with citywide drainage projects, citywide street projects. That's just the nature of the beast, and it's going to take a long time to get there. It's not going to happen in 10 years like was stated. And that's it. Any questions?
I have a couple.
Sure.
So say we start doing like storm drains, right? I know city council's about to put in sidewalks. Would that be something would have to be done before sidewalks, or can that be done after?
We should have some kind of idea of how to tackle the storm drainage project in Old Town. We don't have that roadmap yet, and how we would phase it, or how many blocks we would tackle at a time and then coordinate with the sidewalks. I think you could put some sidewalks where there's missing parts on Main Street where people chose not to participate in the program back when it started, but now might be willing to participate. I know the real estate, what's his name? Rod? Ron, yeah, Ron Henry, he purchased his building and now his office space, and he said, well, nobody's ever asked me if they can install a sidewalk, but I would be willing to, and now he's bought the house next door, so now you'd have 100 feet more of sidewalk on Main Street, so I think we just need to have an ongoing program, and as property owners willing to fill in those gaps, the city should participate.
And when doing all this, would it have, even though it's over a long period of time, would that really have a big impact on like the movement of the city, like all the locals, all the businesses? Would it have a big impact on them, as in taking away money and time of them getting business in there? Would it be
Yeah, you do have to manage the construction projects. If it was on Main Street, you certainly want to be engaging the business owners earlier and telling them what's going to happen, how long the construction takes, where is access going to be from. There's a lot of history in communities that have undertaken these type of projects, but I don't think we're going to have those large investment capital improvement projects. We're going to take small block at a time, 2 blocks at a time, open up the street, replace the water line, the sewer line, install drainage, close that all up, do the street repairs, and then move on to the next project. I don't see it being large project. What I would say, and I heard some of the dialogue about, is it city, is it EDC? It's both. It's just like you're involved citywide in other things. It'll be the CIP project, it'll be EDC, it'll be bonds, it'll be grants. When those opportunities for grants surface, you would take advantage of that. When city decides to have a bond initiative, you never know, they may do that every 5, 10, 20 years, and you'd have your projects ready to go to compete for those bond dollars.
step by step, like you said, a little at a time?
Yeah. And one of the points the mayor has made, and I agree with her, is that the city as a whole needs to look at investing in the I-10 area. That's the golden goose. That's the big golden goose. She's absolutely correct. But along the way, we can take those incremental steps, even like creating the Christmas event. We're just adding and layering on improvements as we go.
As tax revenue comes in and...
Well, there is something I want to ask EDC's opinion about. So because you have this Old Town Plan in front of you tonight and you're talking about and specifically, if you could take it back to the drawing of there you go. Nope.
This one?
Go back, yeah. So right now, and I'm not advocating for anything one way or the other, it's the council's decision, but I want to talk to you about, in the CIP for the sidewalk over the railroad tracks in this very area, we have slated 1.2 million for those sidewalks in that CIP year. Is that something that you think would bring economic development if we expanded it past just the sidewalks into a program like this for right up against the tracks there? And I can't tell which side this is, on the south side or the north?
Across from Harmon's.
Yeah, this.
File side, okay. All right, and so I know we don't have any renderings from the drawing that the planner did, correct? The Old Town Plan. This is not from the Old Town Planner's direction. That was directed out towards like a park that was by the annex, correct?
Correct.
So is that, like, you have a historic committee, subcommittee, or you have an Old Town Development subcommittee?
We have a historic subcommittee that's looking at the guidelines and rules in which the EDC would get involved related to historic preservation. Specifically, what the committee is looking at right now is structures, but this is something that could be added into their wheelhouse.
Yeah, if they could kind of
Community
get,
space?
yeah, some input and feedback to council about this kind of construction over the railroad plaza, tying it to the historic relationship and the economic driving factor that it was probably at one time.
Yeah.
And to streamline it into so that it makes sense. There's a congruency throughout the story you're telling in the historic preservation component.
That's a great point, Mayor. The mayor has been leading the council discussion surrounding creating a pedestrian-friendly cross over the road tracks. Anytime you enter into a conversation with the railroad about pedestrians moving across their facility, the numbers escalate very quickly. And so the 1.2 million is typical when you're talking about pedestrian paths across a railroad.
And it appears the numbers for the sidewalk on both sides is somewhere between 800 and 400K. So that's why I'm saying there might be some room in that CIP if council had a palette for it and EDC had a palette for it, that they could create the railroad plaza construct or whatever, and not be too out of pocket, because just in your old town planning, historic planning discussion.
I like the idea. What you're talking about. I always talk about downtown needs to be part of the park system, the trail system. Trails need to lead you to downtown, back from downtown, back to the trails, continue your march up north or south. Needs to do that. The rendering puts this rail station gazebo in exactly a place I doubt we could put it, which is the railroad easement. But I like the idea of having something that lends itself to the train station as you're crossing the tracks and moving about in downtown. Really do like that. And a gazebo type of structure like this would be really, structure-wise, it'd be easy to build and maintain rather than having a true building.
Yeah, is that just something we would look at and maybe possibly bring back and talk to council with about?
Absolutely. We will assign it to the committee. Luke is kind of spearheading that committee. I will give him the notes and we'll assign it for committee review. And basically, because of the area we're in, Rick even said it in his presentation, we're in railroad country, Texas. So we can go up to any community along this line and see what they've done. What they're doing in Buda is actually amazing, but that's their whole depot. What they've done in Kyle, what they've done up and down from small to large.
Even the neighborhoods in New Braunfels have little covered, interesting, instead of making it some ugly utilitarian thing.
Right. So we have a deep bench to look at, but we can assign that to committee to research, and actually you can pull those documents for cost estimates and really get in the nuts and bolts of how they did it. So we're not really reinventing the wheel. We just need to put the Cibolo spin on it. You had said railroad easement. The ED board, the corporation, does pay for the lease annually, and it's a very good relationship, better than most communities I've been in with UPRR. I don't think through the planning process, considering what we're doing, that there would be any obstacle to adding things, but I think a physical closed-in building's a no-starter. But a gazebo like this could be a good point for them.
Yeah, I'd like to see that happen, at least have them look it over and see what we can.
Of course, I would like to say and preface all of this with, I don't want to jack around with their communications or their strategy or what they're getting on. So we can get there, but we really do want the sidewalk approval for
Absolutely.
sure.
Yes, that's the first huge step to something like this. And we'll put it for the committee for consideration and see where it goes. And then we have the committee updates every meeting now, provided we'll have a full dais in July, hopefully.
Sounds good to me. Anybody have any more questions? We good?
No, I appreciate it, Rick. Thank you for coming.
Absolutely. Thank you, Rick. What you got, Clancy?
Just for future items, I wrote these down while you were talking. So we'll bring back the updated quotes as we discussed for Decor IQ. And then also Anna Miranda, we'll get her on the calendar for July presentation for a more refined budget outlook. But as we've been saying through the whole budget process, about 5% is a conservative estimate for our sales tax based on how we're trending
Do you all have anything else you would like to see added for the July meeting?
I can't think of anything offhand. Anything to go on the budget? Yeah, yes, he's gonna have that quote for next. Yeah, July, and then bring it to y'all.
And then Maggie will be here
Yeah.
in July to present for the chamber.
Perfect.
Okay, cool.
Other than that, I think we're good. Any future agenda items? Anybody? I think we're good.
Okay.
So, we're gonna set the date and time for next meeting for July 16th, 2026 at 6:30. And other than that, I need a motion. Cody?
Make a motion to adjourn?
I second it.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned at 7:47.